Welcome to today's episode. Let's talk a little bit more and deeper about self-talk. I'm going to really show you and teach you how you can change your self-talk. So, for this episode, I really invite you to be distraction free. So, if it's possible, especially for the second half of today's episode, just listen to it in a way that you are really not distracted. There is not your toddler running around. You can really focus on me, on my voice, so I can prime your brain and really help you change your self-talk. Because change is actually happening faster than most people think. And I'm going to show it to you in this very episode. So, in the previous episode, I told you how the negative self-talk ruined my experience in early motherhood. I was not aware of those thoughts that I was just constantly telling myself that I wanted to have my old life back, that I'm simply not cut out for motherhood, that there is something wrong with me. But that self-talk, that negative self-talk created that feeling of stuckness, depression, lost. Like I felt encaged, isolated in that prison of my mind that I created, but I was not aware of that. And I shared with you how coaching really helped me out of it, just to see, just to notice what I was saying to myself, because this is the power of your self-talk. Because whatever you are telling yourself, that is automatically creates the feeling in you. And I already told you in the previous episode how you can change that when you are noticing the thoughts, how you can think of your thoughts as something that you're picking from a buffet. Like you can really have the most yummy and nourishing meal, or you can go for the junk food. Like think about your thoughts as they are optional. So when you have a negative self-talk, then you can pick another thought, and then you can just change your self-talk based on what you are picking as a thought that you wanna think. But today we go deeper because what I realized is that sometimes, and not really sometimes, but sometimes I realized, and I see it several times, that we have really difficulty to just simply change our thinking. It's like, oh, yay, thanks, Esther, but I just don't know how because it keeps coming back. Is it something wrong with me? It just keeps coming back. And no, there is nothing wrong with you. Like, I just want to assure you first, there is nothing wrong with you. I realize this on myself too. With some self-talk that was really so deeply ingrained in me, I really had a hard time to change them. It's like, I really don't want to think that, but somehow they just keep coming back. So, if you are thinking several times and you may even not even notice it that you are thinking it, but you are now realizing, like, yeah, I'm telling myself I'm not good enough, or whatever I'm doing is not good enough, or wherever you are shooting yourself a lot, now you realize that, oh my gosh, yes, it's just so hard to change because it feels so true. It feels so deeply ingrained in me. Then today's episode is really for you because we are going deeper and you're going to understand why those thoughts are so sticky, why they keep coming up, why you keep feeling the same feelings like anxiety, insecurity, doubt over them. And then I'm also going to help you change that. So, first of all, I really bring you a little bit behind the scenes because I truly believe that these really exciting and very interesting facts are kind of priming our brains and opening up more to the change. So I just let you know a little bit more about your unconscious mind. Are you ready for it? So our unconscious mind is just super powerful. Like, oh my God, we have so much more power in our unconscious than what we have thought before. This neuroscience is pretty new, and this way of really researching neuroplasticity and how we are capable of changing our brain and the neural pathways in our brain is fairly fresh. But we have more and more studies and researches how we are actually changing our brain, how we are capable of changing anything through the power of our unconscious, and how changing the brain, obviously, is changing how you're feeling, what habits you have, and what you are creating in your life, obviously. So the self-talk I talked already about in the previous episode was focusing more of the mindset part when you are noticing what you are thinking and then you think of your thought as an optional sentence in your brain that you can change to. And today we go deeper into rather into the feeling side, into the unconscious side, into your body, how you can change your self-talk for the better. Because the self-talk, what you have, is actually hypnotizing you. So don't think about hypnosis as somebody is just having that pen in front of your eyes and like they are hypnotizing you into a state where you don't know what you do anymore and you are unconscious and you are not aware of anything. Like that is not the bullshit. Like, no way. We are using hypnosis to help you to drop into a light trance where you are completely aware of the things, you are actually even more aware of your thinking, of your emotions. You are still engaged, but in that light trance, you are highly suggestible. So, if you are thinking of hypnosis as something that you are constantly hearing, that can be a form of hypnosis. So when you keep telling yourself that you're just not good enough, that you'll never get there, that you'll never have a balance anymore ever in your life, that you just don't know how to do it, that you fall short, that the others figured it out on Instagram or like whatever, but you're not good enough for that. You will never get there. Think about how you are hypnotizing yourself constantly every day with these type of thoughts. That negative self-talk is hypnotizing you into that negative state. You're not even aware of that, but repetition is actually how the brain learns. Repetition is actually what creates those pathways in your brain. So just think about when you have kept thinking this for such a long time that you are not good enough, that you will never get there, that you will never feel energized and good enough ever again. And somehow you are always just falling short and you don't know how to do it right. Just think about how you are hypnotizing yourself with these thoughts, because that is what you are hearing from yourself, from your brain, over and over and over again. Our habits are crucial because the brain loves habits. The brain is wired to save energy. Therefore, the brain is always going to go for the habits because that requires the least energy. So if you have been keep thinking something, like you keep thinking that you're not good enough, that is just a habit in your brain, and your brain is going to go there always because that's the habit that requires the least energy. Your habits are actually anything done with repetition, felt with repetition, thought with repetition, and creates a habituated pattern in the unconscious mind. Think about it like a path. It just always goes down on that same path, and it becomes just wider and wider and wider the more you use the same path. That's why you can feel that it's so ingrained in you, that it's so deeply rooted in you, because you have kept thinking this same thought over and over and over again. You have been hypnotizing yourself with that negative self talk, which is absolutely not supportive. And your unconscious is working every second. your unconscious mind takes over, and then it is responsible for 95% of all of your processing. We are doing most of the things unconsciously. So think about how you have not been aware of all these things. But now I'm telling you because I want you to understand that there's nothing wrong with you. But when you have kept thinking all these shitty thoughts, they're already in your unconscious. And that self talk runs as a habit in your unconscious. So just think about how powerful your unconscious is. The example is the easiest example I can give you is when you started learning how to drive a car. You really had to be there, like very consciously focusing on all the nitty gritty details, what to do with your legs, what to do with your hands, how to pay attention, where to pay attention to. And now you just drop into your car and you drive. You don't pay that attention, that much of attention anymore. You don't notice those little nitty gritty details anymore because it just goes unconsciously or like brushing your teeth. It's not like you are doing it with like, okay, how do I have to pick it up? How do I have to wash them? Like you are brushing your teeth unconsciously. This is how powerful your unconscious mind is. Most of our things, what we do, how we function, it is processed and it is driven by our unconscious. This is how powerful your unconscious is. And I want to invite you to think of it now more of also as an opportunity because we can change the unconscious mind. We can change and rewire the brain so we can use this power for ourselves. If we are not aware of that, then exactly we are just hypnotizing ourselves into those habits. We are running based on those habits if we are not aware of what is happening, especially if we want to change them. So I want you to think of your habit that you want to change, which can be how it shows up in your life as anxiety or insecurity, doubting yourself, feeling that feeling that literally eats you from the inside that you're not good enough. And when your brain starts the self-talk or you see the trigger, what starts that self-talk and that feeling in you, and you just go down the road to that panic, to that insecurity, to that anxiety. And it feels like you cannot stop it because it's a pattern, it's the habit that you have been on for such a long time. So, first, we want to stop it. We want to stop it with a roadblock. And we can do that with rewiring your unconscious. So when you had this self-talk loop and you have been keep thinking the very same things over and over again, hypnotizing yourself into that negative state, first we want to stop it. So this pattern must detour. And that detour is creating a new neural pathway, new neural connections that your brain can pick from, that your brain can go to. Because the interesting thing also about the brain is that your brain runs on prediction. It reacts how it has always reacted. It is on autopilot and it can only be how it has been. So, with rewiring the brain, we are creating new options for your brain to go to. We are just adding new options, desired options, like this is what you want to pick, and not that negative self talk that keeps me down and pulls me down into that shitty feeling of anxiety, overwhelm, insecurity, doubt, frustration, etc. So, this is how the unconscious rewiring works. And then I'm going to tell you just in a minute the exact few examples of exercises that you can try yourself. But this is how powerful your self talk is. And this is how powerful your unconscious is. And every time you just stop it, every time you do this and you catch the self talk, When it would start pulling you down and you stop it and you make it detour so the pattern just cannot follow through, you are changing your brain. You are giving new, more, better options to your brain to pick from. You are adding options to your brain. So you are changing it. So let's use your unconscious for you. I'm going to try to do my best and help you just like this, just like with the auditory system that I'm in your ears. I'm going to help you to change how you are talking to yourself, how you are feeling when you keep having the same thoughts over and over again, doubting yourself, making you anxious, making you feel that whatever you do, you are just simply not good enough and not cut out for motherhood. Because what we are going to do, and we can do that in so many different ways. But now, I really want to pick two exercises that I can teach you now here on this podcast. Obviously, it's so much more when you are coming to me to a change session and we can use all the different modalities. And I know about your specific situation. I know about the specific feelings. I can pay attention to your body talk, what exactly your body and your unconscious is telling me. That's a different scenario, sure. But even now, here, I can teach you these small shifts that is going to help you to change your self talk. And then watch how your state, how your feelings are going to change. So we can manipulate your self talk because that is in your brain. And we have so much more power over our brain than we would think. And the brain changes faster than most people would think. So, first of all, our our goal here is that you're going to be able to stop the self-talk and change it in a way that you've never been thinking of. But now I'm telling you all. So I'm just giving you these two small exercises that you can try it right now. The very first exercise is when you start thinking something like that negative self-talk starts, you feel the anxiety like building up, you feel that not good enoughness, that insecurity, that self-doubt, you feel that building up, the self-talk starts. Catch exactly what you are telling yourself. So first of all, notice what you are telling yourself. I'm going to give you an example, but you have to do it with exactly you are telling yourself, exactly what you are thinking. So I'm giving you the example that it can be, for example, that I'm not cut out for motherhood. So now the technique is very simple. You are changing the tonality. You are changing the voice that is telling to yourself. Because when we are not aware, it just keeps telling this, like your own inner voice is telling you this with the same tone that it uses every single time. It's like, you're just not good enough. You know, this inner voice, which is a little bit mean, but you're not even, maybe you're not even aware of that. You're just not good enough. And now change it to a voice that's funny, that makes you laugh, that makes the whole scenario so ridiculous. So my favorite is Minnie Mouse, that high-pitched voice. But for you, maybe it's rather annoying. I had already a client who told me, like, oh, no, wait, that's so annoying. But then pick something else. Pick something like as your little cute toddler would tell you the exact same sentence. Or somebody, a cartoon character, somebody that you think it's just somehow so weird for the brain to make the connection between the two because there is no connection to. So in my head, what I used and was working 100% for me was Minnie Mouse. But as I said, you can pick anything else, but change the tonality, change the voice, and make it really ridiculous so you can laugh about it. So what I was telling myself is like, you're just not cut out for motherhood. And I changed it like, I just not cut out for motherhood. It is just so funny. I hope you heard it because I was already doing a webinar and I was showing them this high-pitched voice of Minnie Mouse and like nobody could hear it because my voice went really so up that my mic literally died. So hopefully you heard that. Literally just imagine that somehow it is not that serious anymore. You don't believe that. And that's the key. You don't believe that because it is ridiculous how it sounds. And the other exercise I can give you now, think about the feeling. Feel the feeling of the anxiety of that you're not good enough, of whatever you're doing is simply just never good enough. And then notice what exactly you are telling yourself. Why do you say that to yourself? What is your brain telling you? Just think about it. I give you a few seconds. Think about it. What exactly your brain is telling you? For me, as I said in the previous episode, I had this thought coming back always and always that there is something wrong with me. Like I should not feel this, I should feel different, etc., etc. So it all started with there is something wrong with me. And now, when you have the thought, when you have exactly what your brain is telling you, now we are not changing the tonality. What we are changing is actually the speed of that self talk. So if you are telling yourself that there is something wrong with me, then now change it to very slow, like there is something wrong with me. Or you can change it to another is there is something wrong with me. And it just changes instantly. It's like, what? I don't believe the same thought anymore. I don't like that self talk doesn't have the same power over me because it's just like, what? So that feeling you had, the feeling of anxiety you had, the not feeling good enough you felt, cannot just keep itself together because it completely changes in your brain how you are connecting these. So notice how you are feeling now. Notice that lightness, that self-talk cannot pull you down anymore because you don't believe the same way you did when you didn't make any changes. And this is just two tiny examples, two tiny exercises I was just not able to teach you. And there are just so many more because obviously we are all different. And obviously, maybe you may need another exercise to really crush it. Maybe not. Maybe change is already happening and the brain changes faster than most people think. And the change can be quick and efficient in your brain. So, this is the power of our unconscious mind. This is your power over your own unconscious, over how you are feeling. So, as a summary, what I was just teaching to you today was really the power of your self talk again, how we are hypnotizing ourselves because this is a habit. Anything you keep thinking, anything you keep feeling, it is a habit, and habits are neuro pathway patterns in your brain. And if you want to have a different habit, if you want to have a different thought, a different self talk, a different feeling, then you have the power to change that. You have to stop the initial self talk, the initial feeling that you kept on thinking and feeling. And then you have the power to change it. That's the power of the unconscious mind that we can rewire that. We can give new neural pathways to the brain to pick from. How amazing is that? I love my job. I love being an unconscious coach, which is like how I call myself a change practitioner. We are making changes. This is how powerful you are. So, as a reminder, These two episodes were all about your self talk. Check in with yourself because it matters how you talk to yourself. It matters what you are saying to yourself. And repetition is key. Don't forget, the brain runs on prediction, and repetition is key for learning too. So think about the big change you can get to if you stop thinking on repetition the things that are pulling you down and you start thinking and feeling in a way that you want instead. It was my honor to talk to you today. And for now, it's bye. And I'm just so grateful. And I just want to thank you one more time that you are here and you're listening to me. And I cannot wait to teach you more and talk to you more next time. Bye.